It gives you all the information. Starts off with the wiring on it. It has a current transformer right there, and it gives you the number of wraps that have to be through there to pick up the amperage. It goes down here at the operations, gives you that, and then it goes you to the window menu right here. Now you'll also see on this thing it's got an automatic set. Don't use the automatic set never. That's for people that's got motors that are running constantly at a certain horsepower that never varies a little bit, and they put it in auto set. This thing, the percentage will go up and down with the rakes, stuff like that. So you don't want to use auto set. Just go to window 11 and manually set the percentage in you want. Got an off-on timer for on time and off time. This one right here, they put in here, it basically does the same thing as the response time in here. In other words, it gives you time for this thing to come up and normalize out. So I'm not sure it does the same thing. It's kind of duplicated here. You can set, I've got the thing set down to 0. If you set the thing up to 10 seconds, this would see 10 seconds before it shut off. I set it down to 0, so it's really basically running on this guy right here. They've kind of duplicated the delays by putting this timer in here. Rest of it, that's about it. Any questions so far on it, on anything? Like I say, this is what you want to familiar yourself with. It's pretty basic. These guys are out of Ohio. They'll answer a lot of questions. They're pretty good. You call us. You need any information on it. We've checked it. It works. We've loaded this thing up and put a dynamometer on it. We've checked percentages. Now, if you set this thing down to 5%, just turn it on, it'll shut it off. It's more than 5%. So we established some parameters, and so I run it up to 60%, and it's been running there okay. Like again, this is the schedule for setting up the example of what it is. Probably have to get that and put that in the book or send it to you on that. So, any questions? Anybody questions? Okay. Flip the disconnect on. Put this thing in auto. Make sure your e-stop's off. You've got its stop light on. Everything's reset. You're okay. Then you should be able to go out here and hit your hand button or auto, and it should run. So there's the sequence of operations. It tells you how you have to turn your handoff selector. Now they call this position, this is called local controls right here, local screen selector switch. That's the one out on the screen. This one here is the control. This one is called the remote control switch. So you got to follow this sequence. You got to make sure that you have this in the right position and that out there at the bar screen in the right position to run it in the auto and in the hand. So this is the sequence of operations to run the bar screen. So let's again, we'll leave this in auto and go out there and turn it on out there in the hand and auto and see what we got.
What this panel does, namely when you go to hand, that transfers control to this panel and or to SCADA.
Okay.
When you go to auto, meaning remote, then it transfers the control out to the local equipment.
Okay.
That may be the case.
So if we go out, if I go out there and turn it in hand, it should start right up.
It should run.
It should run. Okay, now what again for the start button?
The start button, I believe this will have to be in hand, meaning control at this panel, and then you hit the start button.
Okay. That's in hand. So if I put this in hand here or auto?
In auto.
Put it in
This
auto.
here. That should be off, and then go to the control
Control
panel.
panel.
Put that into hand or local. You should be able to start it at that panel.
At that panel. Okay, let me go over and try. Okay, watch yourself. I'm gonna start it over there. We're going to recommend we've been told by the chain people that put 8 hours of running on it and put some lubrication on it. But I don't see nothing wrong, and we don't feel that you can adjust that out to where it's acceptable.
That's 8 hours of run time. So if you're running,
Probably 8 hours a day it's gonna run.
yes,
Most.
exactly.
So,
The way it's set up right now, it's 5 on, 10 off.
Yeah.
So you're running 20 minutes out of every hour. So that's 1/3 of the day. So every day.
Well-
you're gonna be out.
Well, now, if you come out here and you're going to have to grease the bearings once a week.
yeah.
At that point, if you want to put some lubrication on the chain and it looks okay and feel, the idea is to keep the inside of the
Well,
chain.
the biggest thing is gonna be PMs now anyway, so once a day you gotta come.